Let me have a look at your stock.
Glyph of Yurden's really good. I need to save that.
Take care.
I think I resolved the Griffin quest, so... Once it came to ambushing the feathery widower, Geralt turned to Vesemir for help. With 2 witchers lunging at its throat, the Griffin of White Orchard proved a lamb for the slaughter. As is the way of his order, Geralt took the beast's head as his trophy and delivered it to the Nilfgaardian garrison for his reward, which, as you might remember, was to be information about Yennefer. And did this update? No. And let me do this.
Come to Pappy!
Peasant.
Something else you'll be needing.
Oops. Need to talk to Vesemir.
Farewell.
Vesemir, where are you?
Yennefer's in Vizima. Got a few friends there, so... Something wrong?
Look around. Trouble brewing.
Who are they?
Patriots. Drinking their 7th round for Temeria. Fists starting to itch.
Don't see any Nilfgaardians.
They'll find another foe. I'll buy some provisions for the journey. Then we'll go. Geralt, we should stay out of it. Just this once.
What happened to the lilies?
Took them down.
Took them down to hang a golden sun there now.
I cannot show Temerian colours. They'll come and burn the tavern down.
Maybe it's true what they say. You fond of the Imperials? You Nilfgaard's whore?
I'll let that pass. I know grief eats at your heart.
You know shit. They hanged my sister, dragged her out the cloister like a dog. Said Nilfgaard's no place for superstition, that they don't fear the wrath of the gods. And you, do you fear it? If not for Annie, your child would have choked on its navel string. You owe your son to my sister attending to the birth, and you don't fear the gods' wrath. You don't fear it, you cunt! Let me be!
Recognize this medallion? You know what it means. Back off.
You all right?
They say witches steal young'uns. That true. What'd the Emperor promise you freaks? Your own land? Like he did the elves once?
Get out, all of you.
We ain't going nowhere. And neither are you.
They won't back down now.
I can see that.
Okay, you're weak against fire.
It's all right. It's over.
Leave me be! Get away!
See his face! God save us!
Be gone. And don't ever come back.
So much for not getting involved. Come on, let's go.
We didn't start it.
Excuses, excuses. You've not changed a bit.
Yen? How?
I received a report about a witcher who'd appeared in White Orchard. I knew it was you, looking for me. I might have waited until you found me, but... well, you know me. Patience has never been my strong suit. It's good to see you, Geralt. I'd even embrace you. Were you not covered in blood?
Sorry. Wasn't expecting to see you. To be honest, this isn't at all how I imagined we'd meet.
How did you imagine it?
You didn't imagine you'd have a Nilfgaardian escort. Don't get me wrong, Yennefer. I'm glad to see you. But I do think you owe us an explanation.
And I shall provide it. In Vizima. Ready your horses.
Spent the last 6 months in the saddle. Haven't seen you for 2 years. Can we take a moment to...
Sadly, we cannot. Someone awaits you, Geralt. Someone who doesn't like to be kept waiting. Emperor Emir var Emrys. Or, to those on more intimate terms with him, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes.
Doubt I number among that group. Far as I remember, last time we saw each other, he wanted to kill me.
Well, now he wishes to make you an offer.
The kind one can't refuse.
I didn't, though I could have.
Must have been a damn good offer then. Not many things you'd give up your freedom for, and even fewer people.
The sooner we set off, the sooner you'll find out.
What about you?
I'm going in the opposite direction. I somehow doubt the Emperor's invitation mentioned me. Besides, I've got things to do at Kaer Morhen, remember?
Yeah, I remember. Thanks for your help, Vesemir. See you soon.
How's your horse? Swift?
Can't complain. Why do you ask?
I'd like to be back behind some thick city walls as soon as possible.
You know, had a dream about you recently.
Knowing you, it was probably filthy.
Just the beginning. But then...
But then... Talk of this tomorrow, all right? After the audience.
That's the thing about this game. The cutscenes and the writing is so intense and it's so good.
This bard's tale begins near White Orchard. If my dear friend
it's just like that the
Rivia
whole game.
seeking his lover
All these cutscenes are the same
sorceress
quality.
Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps ahead. After many trials
And I
and
don't
tribulations, Geralt finally learned that Yen was in nearby Vizima.
And And I don't think a person could have anticipated that that was going to happen. There's lots of surprises like this in the game. Vizima, capital of Temeria.
It must suffice.
Thinkemere cares if I'm clean.
The gentleman will refer to His Imperial Majesty by his full title or not at all. The gentleman will be seated on the bergère.
The what now?
In that chair. Catherine, please shave the gentleman's sideburns to half an inch.
What's wrong with my beard? Always thought it added to my dignity.
It does. Yet it also detracts from your elegance. In Nilfgaard, we consider beards hard on the eyes. Especially beards infested with lice.
Been on the road a while. Fine, do your thing.
Tilt your head back, please, and sit still.
And prepare to answer some questions. General, I am not certain this is the appropriate time. I can't think of a better time. Men turn honest when they feel a blade at their throat. Movran Voris, commander of the Alba Division. Before they take you in to see the Emperor, Witcher, there's some information I need you to verify. It's a formality, but one that must be seen to.
Sure. Paperwork's gotta be in order.
So, Geralt of Rivia. Place of birth, unknown. Parents, unknown. Age, unknown. All insignificant details. Let us proceed to more recent events. The siege of La Valette Castle. The fate of the defending commander, one Arian.
We fought on opposing sides, true. Then we landed in the same dungeon. Arian escaped, set fire to the castle on his way out.
So that is how the blaze started. Our reports suggested the dragon was responsible. Moving on. You then found shelter in charming Flotsam, and from there made your way to Vergen. My question is how?
I got out of Flotsam with Vernon Roach, commander of the Blue Stripes, and...
A murderer of non-humans. We know this gentleman well, Witcher. You forge interesting alliances.
Something tells me my most interesting is yet to come. Go on, next question, before my beard grows back in.
We shall shave you again if it does. Very well. The infamous summit at Loch Muin. You were there. And once again meddled in the affairs of the mighty.
The mighty had imprisoned Triss Marigold. Ought to know I care about her, and I tend to rescue those I care about.
And so you did, handing Radovid control of the Conclave and Council of Mages in the process.
Nilfgaard recently started a war, unprovoked. So do us both a favor and stop moralizing.
The gentleman must sit still. I'm almost done.
I'm afraid I might find that difficult. Because, from what I know, shortly afterwards you watched a defective megascope blow your friend Sheila de Tanserville to bits.
I watched her get in the megascope, but ultimately freed her from the trap your man Letho of Gullet had set. Write that down. I want to be sure the paperwork's in order now.
Well, national interest calls on one to forge difficult alliances at times. Alliances with witches included.
That an ongoing alliance? What's Letho up to?
I had hoped you would answer that question.
Ah, so Letho's hiding from you. Must have a good reason. Was there a shift in national interest that might have caused that? I don't know where he is. Wouldn't tell you if I did anyway. Blade or no blade to my throat.
I believe that is all. Your signature, please, affirming you stated the whole truth and nothing but the truth on pain of imprisonment or death, etc., etc.
Here,
And here.
with these formalities seen to, I would ask the General to leave the room. We shall be choosing the gentleman's attire. An important matter, but one that does not require the General's assistance.
Shame. I might have given you some advice. So long, Geralt. Good luck with your audience.
Feels more like I'm being readied for a wedding.
Were that so, I would have prepared the gentleman a frock, a tailcoat, or possibly a dinner jacket. In point of fact, the gentleman will choose from these garments.
Black, black, or black?
We do not like garish colors in Nilfgaard. The gentleman will tell me once he has chosen an outfit.
Alright, let me save real quick. We're gonna be getting into some major plot stuff. I love, like, that's a really long sequence, and there's a lot of information you're learning there. So let's take a look at the glossary. Oh, I haven't read about wraiths. They're vulnerable to moon dust, specter oil, and Quen. Finish all your business before you die, bid your loved ones farewell, write your will, apologize to those you've wronged, otherwise you'll never truly leave this world. Paul Vicar, peasant healer, advice to a dying man. Clerics and scholars are forever debating whether spirits do in fact journey to another world after death, one where eternal joy or suffering awaits. Both groups agree, however, on what happens to spirits who for one reason or another remain in our world after their body breathes its last. They transform into wraiths. To hear their mournful howls, one can surmise this is not a fate to be envied. There's that. Characters. Emrir Var Emrys. Few names in the continent's history arouse as much terror and respect as that of Emir Var Emrys. Deathwin Adan Yankarn Ait Morvud, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. Emperor of Nilfgaard, Lord of Matina, Ebbing and Gamera, Sovereign of Nazir and Vakovaro. He was ruler of half the civilized world and an inspiring conqueror of the other half. He was a personage whose deeds and decisions shaped the fates of whole kingdoms and populations. What then what could he possibly want of a simple witcher? Morvran Boris, commander of the Alba Division, an officer of the highest rank and a pure-blooded aristocrat, one who with pride could call himself a Nilfgaardian, a designation reserved only for native-born inhabitants of the Empire's capital and its immediate surroundings. At the time of their first meeting, Geralt had no idea what an important person had been assigned the task of asking him a few routine questions. Knowing the Witcher, however, knowledge of Morvran's rank and status would not have made much of a difference. And I didn't read this one. The circumstances of Geralt's initial reunion with Yennefer after 2 years were quite different than he had imagined. The sorceress was not only safe and sound, but had even secured the aid of an unexpected and mighty ally, the Nilfgaardian Empire. Lambert, Geralt. Okay. Did I get any books? Oh yeah, I've read all this. Quests. We are now on Imperial audience. Ultimately, it was Yennefer who found Geralt. The one-time lovers had not even a moment to enjoy the reunion, for Yennefer insisted they write to Vizima as quickly as possible. The Emperor of Nilfgaard awaited from there. through Temeria's former capital was but a few miles from White Orchard. The journey was to be rife with drama. Okay. Get dressed and talk to the Chamberlain. Geralt had spent years looking for Yennefer only to have her find him. She had appeared outside the tavern in White Orchard, escorted by Nilfgaardian soldiers. The one-time lovers could not enjoy the reunion, for the sorcerers had insisted they make haste. Geralt and Yennefer had then left White Orchard, accompanied by the Nilfgaardians, but only the Witcher and the sorceress reached Vizima. Along the way, their column was attacked by a cavalcade of wraiths, the omen of war, the wild hunt. Geralt's head was abuzz with questions. What had Yen gotten into? How had the hunt found them? Why was it looking for them? Why had he been summoned to Vizima? He was to get his answers from none other than the Emperor of Nilfgaard himself, Emir var Emreis, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes, the most powerful man in the known world. So if you were kind of wondering, when is the Polifics going to get into this? Well, it's about to happen.
This might come as news to the gentleman. The towel wrapped around one's waist is not fitting attire for an audience. The gentleman will kindly dress.
Now, there's a bunch of stuff to read. Let's read this. Gnomish pranking. Scrub the greasings from a dog's ear, soak into cotton twine, place it in a new lamp of greenish hue, and set said lamp twixt an eager crowd. Forsooth shall they swear that a dog's head they behold, and this shall be no sorcery, but good betidings. For the Prince of Alander's nuptials, a paltry gnome armed with a miniature cutlass behid himself in a pie. When guests partook of the princely banquet, anon jumped out of the besabred gnome, giving a terrible fright to all at first, then causing much merriment once the jest was figured. A cynocephalus, or a doghead in our tongue, a beast that is the waist of the Zangubar dwells, as the corpus of a man but the head of a dog. The Prince of Alander did receive such a specimen from those far-off lands. The cynocephalus lets stream its urine with the tolling of every hour, both day and night, and this is why the Zangabarians engraved its likeness on timepieces and compasses. That was, I feel like I was reading Latin there. I'm sure there's some Latin root for those words. By the way, you're probably wondering, why do I want to collect all this garbage? Because there is a bookstore owner in Novigrad who will buy your books at a premium. A sword for witches. Who are the hunters, you ask? Folk like you and yours, I reply. The decent kind, haters of lies, doers of good, the kind who live according to the gods' laws, and nature's laws too. Those disgusted by the machinations of witches, magicers, and non-humans. All that separates us from common folk is that we've the courage to take up arms, to defend our lands from evil, to slice out the gangrene that eats us from within. We haven't a leader, we haven't forts or land. Thou God's-fearing Radovid supports us with his gold at times. We've not sworn him, nor any other ruler, an oath. We serve only the eternal fire, and we listen only to our own conscience. Who could join us? Any who is right of soul and sound of body. You can find us in every larger city in the north. We will give you board, lodging, and a weapon. We will explain how to spot the telltale signs of evil, birthmarks in strange and arcane shapes, smooth skin on a matron aged more than 30 springs, and black cats kept in the yard, to name but a few. We will show you how to defend yourself from witchcraft, how to tame and snuff out magic elements with demeritium. We will instruct you how to squeeze the sinner's darkest secrets out of them with a hot iron, and how to grant them cleansing death with the help of sacred fire. So, like, basically, they're the Inquisition. all in the name of God. We're gonna torture people. And I love if somebody over the age of 30 has smooth skin, then they're obviously witches.
What do you mean? Directly out of Nordling tales. Inconceivable.
Yeah, I'm a witcher. Deal with it. The Chronicles of Redania. I'm reading all this stuff so you get some background on everything. Verondok the Elf. Despite what one might conclude from his moniker, not one drop of elven blood flowed in King Verondok's veins. They called him the Elf because of his exceptional beauty and for the great admiration he left for the Aen Sedai. That's elves. This fascination, seemingly harmless, would have horrible long-term consequences. King Verondok, spitting in the face of all laws and customs, chose as his wife a half-elf, and one of low status at that, known as Beatrix of Kovir. The fruit of this regrettable and short-lived misalliance was Falka, who later fomented bloody revolt against her own father. Now, this uprising was ultimately extinguished, and Falka herself burned at the stake. The young state was thereafter thrown into chaos for years to come.
Be so kind and do not disturb.
Alright, chill out. I just wanted to talk. The wonders of Zerrikania. During my many travels, I've seen countless extraordinary places, the primeval wilds of Broccolon, with trees so high their tips disappear in the clouds, dwarven chambers carved in the guts of the Mahakam Mountains, with walls plated in pure gold, the ice palace of Pontvanes, adorned with stained frost windows, yet none of these made such an impression on me as did the rightly famed Zerrikania. Yet while I was traversing the fiery mountains, I feared disappointment awaited me on the other side. I heard many a fantastic tale about Zerrikania, about its trackless sands, burnt white by the sun, its golden-scaled dragons weaving their nests amidst the dunes, its hunchback horses able to survive weeks without even a swallow of water. Yet none seemed to me at all plausible. I was sure all these sensations were but the figments of some bard's overactive imagination. I know this will be as hard for you to believe, dear reader, as it was once for me, but all of the unbelievable tales were true. Not only that, during my many months of travel, I came across wonders far surpassing those any prior travelogues mentioned. I saw temples dedicated to the worship of dragons. I heard their voice, almost human, but reverberating with 1,000 echoes. I met warriors, maids clad in leopard skins, tattooed from head to foot and giving no ground to witchers in mastery of the blade. I saw mages who channeled power from fire. I saw seemingly harmless flies whose solitary bite would make a man fall into a deep slumber, never to awake save to die. In short, Zerrikania is a land where the fantastic is normal and the impossible occurs daily. Sadly, we don't get to visit there. Anything else in this room?
A shame I have no time.
Oh, the opposition in Nilfgaard. When Nilfgaard's emperor wields absolute power, harshly crushing the slightest sign of disobedience, opposing forces continue to exist within the empire. By this, I do not mean the disgruntled leaders of conquered provinces, but the magnates within the city of 1,000 towers who are unhappy with the current leadership. This conflict between the emperor and the noble houses of Nilfgaard, the capital, dates back many years. All the princes of the blood and magnates expected their ruler to wed one of their daughters and sire an heir with one of their own. The emperor, however, had other plans. This proved a slap in the face for all the great families from which he refused to take a bride. The Nilfgaardian opposition patiently waits for the emperor to slip up, for some event to occur which will weaken his authority, be it an economic crisis or a defeat in battle. A secret conspiracy lies ready to seize such a moment to incite the disinfected, assassinating the emperor and carry out a coup d'etat, culminating with one of their own number ascending to the throne. For obvious reasons, only a limited few know of this conspiracy, but any shrewd observer of Nilfgaardian politics can read the signs of its working. So long as men are men and the world is as it is, certain dynamics will forever remain the same, and the discontented will always form subversive societies within their secret signs and hidden agendas. So what isn't talked about in this game, but was true in the books, is that Emperor Var Emrys wanted to marry his daughter. I don't know why exactly, maybe because she has power and he thought it would pass on through her bloodline. So it doesn't really talk about, like, he doesn't really talk about why he doesn't want to marry, but in the game you'll find out what his real goal is. But that's important stuff. So there's definitely there's a lot going on, and that's why I'm reading all this, so you have some context. Oh, let me go grab. Why can't I? There we go. Yes, I'm robbing the Emperor of Nilfgaard.